Hi Michael, this is Matt here. This is a broken piece similar to one of the risers that you have damaged, and you can see it's in three different pieces. There's another one over there, you can see it in about four different pieces. I fixed that one second, this one first. I have it on these rails, polished face up. The rails are like this, and they're basically aluminium with a rib, and the reason for that is that the rib provides just a very small amount of contact where the slab is resting. This is good because the glue doesn't stick to a big surface, so it's easy to remove it if any glue sticks to it. You'll see this later on, what I mean by this. So as I say, this is a piece of stone similar to the one you have. It's broken three places. So it's face side up, and you can see this face side and the big piece. So you would need some wedges like this. You need them for fitting the risers. They'll create a spacing from the step to make the riser look nice and sharp on the step. They're just spacers. Your tiler will know this. I'm going to use them here to balance out these two. To balance out these two runners, or these two rails, what I call two rails. And if they were, I seem to have difficulty with my camera now for some reason, but anyway, if the rails were uneven, you would get a bad gluing. You might be able to see it down there. So it's important that the rails are as level as possible, and before you proceed gluing them, sight them that they look good and level all the way down. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to turn them upside down, so as the finished side is now down. The reason I had them up in the first place was that I can check that they fit together nice and neatly. So you just see that they sit together, that there's nothing in between them that will keep them apart or create a difference. There's a very good seam there now with that. Also, you will probably have to deal with some dust. So a good way of dealing with some particles or dust is to use a paintbrush and remove the dust. It's very important to remove the dust because the glue will not get a good bond. Now, once the risers are fitted to the step, you're not relying on the chemical glue to keep them strong. The adhesive at the back of it is quite sufficient. In fact, more than sufficient. So you assemble them all dry first. I don't know if you can see the far down. I'll put it up. So you assemble them all dry. Make sure they fit snugly together. Okay then, so what you do is you turn it upside down, so it's the polished face down onto the rails. Polished face up onto the rails. So now I'm going to make up the glue. Just got to go and get the glue. The mixing rate in this is 1 to 10 or 10%. 10% of the hardener to say 100% of the waste, or to 1 to 10 of the waste. Probably about that much for both of the joints is sufficient. It's a good dessert spoon. Keep the glue covered. If you don't leave the glue covered, it tends to lose its strength. You will have to guess the 10%, but if your weather is very warm, you might want less than 10% because it will make it go off quicker. So mix the paste. Don't use the same knife that you take out the paste out of the big can, because you could run the risk of making it all very crusty if you get the hardener in contact with it. So maybe take it out with something different, like perhaps like a lollipop stick or something. I use my finger there to take it out. Make sure it's well mixed. You couldn't have it well mixed enough, but if you spend too long mixing it, you run the chance of it going solid in your hand. So just be aware of that as well. Now the bed is fairly level. I'm just going to slip one of the wedges in here. There's a small rocking in it, but it's very level. It just so happened to be the way it is. So perhaps blow off some of the dust and put some in. Not a huge amount, but get a good spread down along.
Persistent and heavy rain will continue over Ulster and Connacht this evening, with just some patchy rain or drizzle elsewhere in the country.
And put it back down onto the bed.
10 to 14 degrees. Now you're up to date on the all-new Classic Hits.
And get it together, assemble the joint, and tighten it as best you can. Now, this one side, I'm assuming you can see it now. This side, again, pick up the one that's easiest, blow any dust that might be on it away. If you get a break on the piece of stone, if you have a break on a piece of stone that is difficult to get it together when you're trying to fit it dry, perhaps get the grinder and remove some from the back so that the assembly goes together nice and easy for you. You might want to email me on that when I mean further, or to elaborate on it. So again, assemble this. From assembling this dry, I know it's a little difficult the way it connects, so you kind of have to lift it and it'll fall into place. It's just the shape of the break. And again, tighten it. You might just see the way the glue has squelched up. It probably has done the same thing at the bottom, and that's good. You want that to happen.